Hello, my name is Geraldine Thomas, and today I would like to talk about how close relationships spark dialectical tensions. Have you ever tried to pick up a toddler and give him a hug, just to have him or her push away from you, wriggle out of your arms, and run off? His negative reaction towards your love might hurt your feelings a little bit, but of course you know that now that he can walk, he just wants to use his legs as much as he can. What the toddler and you are feeling in this situation is a type of conflicting emotion called a dialectical tension. Dialectical tension is defined in our textbook, Interpersonal Communication, written by author Corey Floyd, as conflicts between important but opposing needs and desires. On page 288, research has found that dialectical tensions surface most often within our closest of relationships. These are called interdependent relationships. Interdependence defined on that same page of our textbook as what happens to one person will directly affect everyone else in that relationship. Some of the most common interdependent relationships are between family members, like a parent-child relationship, for example, romantic partners, like a marriage, and friendships. Research also points out that there are some common dialectical tensions that seem to resurface over and over again. These are the need of autonomy versus the need of connection, the need for openness versus the need for closeness, and the need of predictability versus novelty. First, let's talk about autonomy versus connection. On page 289 of our textbook, autonomy refers to the feeling of wanting to be your own person, while connection refers to the need and desire to be close to others. This dialectical tension is most commonly seen in a parent-child relationship, for example. Now we can understand how a toddler's reaction is not a rejection, he is just asserting his autonomy. The next dialectical tension is openness versus closedness. On page 289, openness refers to our desire for disclosure and honesty, while closeness refers to our desire to keep facts, thoughts, and ideas to ourselves. Floyd explains that this tension is all about wanting to bond with our relationships by disclosing information, but at the same time, wishing to keep certain things private, perhaps for the sake of another relationship. Floyd provides an example on this same page about two siblings who are interacting. A brother asks his sister how are things going with her boyfriend. The sister may want to bond with her brother and be completely open and honest, but she may have to keep certain information private because perhaps her boyfriend doesn't want that information shared with everybody. The third dialectical tension is predictability versus novelty. On page 289, predictability is referred to as our need for consistency and stability, while novelty is our desire for fresh new experiences. This dialectical tension is most commonly seen within romantic relationships and marriages. Of course, it also applies to family relationships and friendships. Floyd explains on page 289 that we need predictability because it provides orderliness and stability to our everyday interactions with our close relationships. Of course, everyone still needs to mix things up a bit and have some fun. So, for example, a couple who has been married for many years may decide to travel together and visit new places and have some new experiences. This dialectical tension could also explain why families seek to go on vacation together as often as they can. Floyd points out that dialectical tensions are a normal part of every interdependent relationship. And on page 290, he provides a list of ways people manage these tensions. Some are very good ways, some not so good. So, in conclusion, autonomy versus connection, openness versus closeness, and predictability versus novelty are dialectical tensions that commonly surface within interdependent relationships. The important part is to learn to recognize them and realize that they are a normal dynamic that we will encounter as we strive to get closer to our relationships and grow and evolve together with them.